Hi there, and welcome to Dork Wars, the podcast, your galactic hub for all things Star Wars and more. My name's Blake, and I am here with one of the, I don't know how to phrase this, polarizing, maybe? Polarizing? But a very good friend, has very good takes. Mr. Joker Voice, just a staple of Dork Wars, the podcast at this point.
I know. Hello, everyone. Hello. Oh, dear God, this topic. Jesus.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it in a little bit, of course, but yeah, this topic it's definitely a source
Polarizing.
of it is polarizing, much like you. It is polarizing.
I know, right?
But JV, so what's been going on, man? What you been up to?
I had a busy day today. I was on earlier today with Wookie Be Bad. I jumped onto here and I left the Renegade. I was in the chat in there, Valiant Renegade stream, talking about Disney stocks and entertainment through the business lens. After this, I've got to record my last week's News Now video, and then I'm off to work.
Yeah, very busy. Just like myself, I'm busy as well. I've been, man, I had cars to work on yesterday. I played a show last night. I played a show this afternoon, and now I'm here. And after this, I need to edit. Yeah, and after this, I need to edit the episode we recorded. We got our first episode in a long time for our audio podcast.
Right.
Oh yeah,
nice.
We got to get it. We got to get it going. Oh yeah, and you got to throw up the. Yeah, we're gonna plug you again later.
But Lunar, why don't you show my last topic? My last comment.
Oh no!
Comment I did in there. Come on.
I think she's a mod. She should be. She should be able to do that. I don't know. I don't know the mod powers. I don't even know.
Well, maybe you should highlight.
Which one is it? Which one is
Showtime?
It? Showtime. Oh, Showtime. Don't stab me with a lightsaber because they are useless anyways. Lols.
Tina's here. What's up?
Hey, Tina. It's good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. The StreamYard thing, it lies to you because it tells me one person's watching, but I have at least 2 people commenting. That's not you. So anyway. But let's go on and get to some nerdy news, some geeky news, some dorky news. Now hear this.
Now hear this. Now hear this.
Now you hear this, whoever you are.
Folks, I don't want to put a downer on this stream already, but I want to open up with some sad tidings. Just this week has been a ringer for celebrities passing away.
It's because it's because they watch the Ahsoka episodes.
Oh man! All right, oh goodness.
Throw you off there again.
I don't. Too soon? Is it too soon? We don't even. Is it too soon for that? Can we not?
No.
Oh my gosh! I don't know if we can do that. But Miss Arlene Sorkin, famously known for giving a voice to JV's.
There are 2 sad hyenas here tonight. Puddin, may rest in peace.
Yeah, it's a kicker, man. She brought a voice to a character. Harley Quinn wasn't supposed to be as astronomical as she was.
She was supposed to be a 3-episode throwaway character.
Yeah, and now I can't imagine like the Batman not even just Batman. It exceeds Batman DC without Harley Quinn. I mean, she's exceeded her role in Batman or just a Joker. You know,
Harley Quinn has gone from a throwaway character to, I mean, her impact in the culture. She is iconic now at this point.
Yeah. So, Arlene Sorkin, rest in peace. I hate that. I really do. Another one Another good one gone, Mr. Bob Barker.
Let's hope he heard the words "come on up" instead of "come on down."
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope. Andrew, thank you for joining us tonight. Good to see you in the stream. But yeah, just remember, control the pet population. Have
Have
your
your pet
pet
spayed or neutered.
I tell you what, those are the words I heard all summer when I wasn't at school or when I was home from school sick. I heard those words. So, awesome. And just sadness all around, man. Sadness all around.
Yep.
And those aren't the only ones.
If you are a wrestling fan, the legend Terry Funk passed away, and then Wyndham Rotunda, who is better known as Bray Wyatt, probably one of the most creative people the WWE has had in their stables for decades, also passed away from a massive heart attack. He was 36.
That's crazy, man. So young. I mean, we have, and even Arlene Sorkin wasn't that old. I think she was in her 50s.
62, I think.
62. Okay, yeah, she was early 60s. So still, I mean, that's not that old. It's not that old. No. So, just a tough one all around. In other news, Dune 2 is now being pushed back because of the writer's strike. Yes.
The writers and actors strike. Yes.
The writers and actors strike. Correct.
That's the official reason they're getting it.
Right.
I personally think because you still got one more Snyder holdover film, Aquaman 2, that's going to muck up the box office. And with the release date, I believe it's March 24th. I believe is the so March 24th will probably now will be the official kickoff of the summer movie season. So you start that off, pending the writers and actors strike. If it's over by then, now you've got your actors out front promoting it.
Right.
Send this thing off to do with a good start.
Yeah. The first part of Dune was fantastic.
That was amazing.
I think it was a great adaptation.
Beautifully done. Beautifully done.
It didn't stray very, very far from the book. No. There were some things, but nothing crazy.
Likewise.
It's still going to get there. I totally believe it. I mean, like I said, the first one was so great. You can't not finish it out. So I can't wait to see what they do with it. I can't wait to see the
that's good news. This is actually the only folks who are celebrating is Marvel, because Dune opened the week before the Marvels did.
Right. Yeah, and that would have destroyed
crushed
the Marvels.
That would have pretty much guaranteed the Marvels would be the first Marvel Studios film to not debut at number 1.
Yeah, I believe you are correct. I'd bet money on it. I really would, because I mean, Dune garnered a lot of fans.
Oh yeah.
I mean, not just people who read the books or invested in the series or know about it, but just movie fans, as you like to say, normies.
Right.
People who aren't as geeky as I am or you probably got in on Dune because it was such a good film. So
now I have heard. Now I've never read the book, but from what I hear, it's a pretty hard read.
It's tough. I'm rereading the Dune series now, actually.
Okay.
It's not hard, but it's very. I mean, it was written in.
It's very dense. It's very dense.
Yes, it is very dense. Yeah, it is. And
I've already heard
putting it on the screen. It's right. More digestible on the screen. And while it did not stray from the book very much, the sights and the sounds help it in a way.
Right.
Yeah.
and I've heard that Denis Villeneuve, because it's his project, this doesn't fall under the writers or anything. He's already working on ideas for Dune Messiah.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah. I'll tell you what though, Dune 2 is gonna have a lot of ground to cover. I mean, there's a lot of story left in Dune.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were gonna.
We still have yet to see Fade the Routh.
Yeah, Fade Ratha. Yeah,
Ratha. Yes.
Fade Ratha.
Oof.
Yeah. Oof. The Harkonnens. I love Dune, man. Dune is, oh gosh, it's the perfect mixture to me of like Isaac Asimov, the Foundation series, and all that, and like what came after, which is Star Wars. That was kind of in the middle and kind of blended the action and adventure with the very
mystical,
the very science fictiony, like,
and very dense lore. Very dense
lore. Yeah, exactly. Because Star Wars, I love Star Wars, but on the surface, the movies and all, when the lore was a little bit thinner, where the action and adventure is kind of in the forefront. Of course, lore now is just, but the technicality, like how things work in the Star Wars universe, like the explanations and all, that isn't quite as much there. Where Foundation, that's all it is. It's all explanations. Oh no, JV's gone. Am I still here? Oh gosh, I hope you guys can hear me. Oh gosh, JV. I don't know what's going on right now. Am I still here? My internet's horrible, folks. So if I'm not here. Oh, you can hear me. Oh no, JV's gone. JV's left me. That's okay. We'll poke on through, I guess. Man, I think we agreed on something. Like everyone was very happy and agreeing on things, and JV left. He can't be happy, I don't think. Anyways, well, that's all the news I had, I think. So I'm gonna have to. My Ahsoka love works miracles. Are you saying? Oh, it does, because it brought JV back to the stream. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh no. I removed you. I didn't mean to remove you. I meant to remove the comments. My bad.
Yeah. So my mic got disconnected, and then it.
Yeah, that's look. You know my struggle with the internet. So, dude, I was literally like, "Oh God, I'm not even here."
Oh
Tina.
Boy, and we got two.
Tina.
We got two.
Oh, no.
Oh boy. Oh no, girls.
Oh no.
Bring the tissues, because it's not gonna get pretty yet after this.
I'm gonna, I'm probably not gonna be as harsh. So we'll see.
We'll
see about it. I know you will. But yeah, this is the point in the show where I have to talk about the Dork Wars merchandise store.
Merchandising? What's that? Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Open up the store.
We have Dork Wars the t-shirt, Dork Wars the hoodie, Dork Wars the coffee mug, and we even have Dork Wars the lightsaber toy that is just as effective as a real lightsaber when stabbed into someone's chest. Doesn't hurt them at all.
Wait, you mean it's useless?
Yeah, it's useless. It doesn't do anything. It does light up. It does make sound, but it doesn't kill anyone.
Recipes quiet. Recipes Qui-Gon.
Poor Qui-Gon. So I tell you what, I'm gonna have to make like some kind of one of those little bits. It's just like every time someone gets stabbed and they don't die, I'm just gonna put it up there. It's gonna be like Qui-Gon. Oh,
Qui-Gon going. Well, okay, you should really have Qui-Gon, and then use what's his name, Hank Hill, going. What the hell?
Yeah, that would be great. And yes, Luna Girl, I would like one too, but unfortunately, we do not have the rights to make lightsabers. That was a joke. But you can check out the Dork Wars merchandise store at dorkwarspodcast.com. There you will also find everywhere that we stream, our Spotify, our Apple Podcast, we're on Google Podcast, Stitcher, all the podcatchers. Anywhere that you find podcast, we are there. You can also find some really cool material about us, all this different stuff. So our YouTube channel, of course, which you're on right now, if you're watching this. So you probably don't need the link to that, but check out dorkwarspodcast.com. I need to put the little ticker up. Where's that at? Oh, there it is.
Is it coming?
There's the ticker.
Oh,
no, it's not. No, not yet. Not yet.
Oh,
no,
damn
not.
it.
That's not coming.
Damn it.
When it does. But JV, let's plug you real quick, man. Where can the folks find Joker Voice?
You can find me on YouTube at The Joker's Voice, right down yonder, right there. You can also find me on Twitter at LAS_protege. So that's where you can find me, my hot takes. And again, folks, like I say all the time that I come on here, I am the truth you need to hear, not necessarily the truth you want to hear.
And that may be an opinion.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Well, anyways, for Dork Wars the podcast, for Joker Voice and his YouTube channel, hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Share this with your friends. Like and subscribe. Just hit it as hard as you can. I love the look on JV's face every time I play it.
You really need to change that.
I can't. It is such a staple now. I actually like that clip. And there's JV's Twitter link. Oh, is it x.com? Oh man, they've got weird links now.
Twitter X, yeah. Now it's called X. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't show that on mine. I haven't updated it on my phone, so that's probably why.
Well, mine kind of updates it automatically on my laptop. Like in my taskbar, I still see the bird.
Yeah.
And then I press link and it's ding, and I'm like,
yeah, X is giving you the bird, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
But tonight, Joker Voice and I are gonna venture into Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. I do apologize. I do not have a fancy video to play at the beginning of this like I normally do. I did not have time to create one. However, I am going to issue a spoiler warning because there are spoilers. From here on out, you will be hearing about Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. We're going through all the details. Nothing is off the table. So if you have not seen those episodes, pause this right now. You can catch the replay if you're listening live. If you are listening to the replay already, just hit the pause button. Go check out those episodes, then come back here and listen to Joker Voice and I, the Dork Wars podcast live, talk about Ahsoka episodes 1 and 2. You have been warned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you've been warned. Like I said, folks, get the tissues out. It's not going to get pretty.
I don't even know if I want to ask you, JV, what you thought about the episode, because I already know, and I think the folks might already know. That's for you, JV. Before we get into the topic fully, that's for you.
Ew.
Oh man.
I look at these two episodes as one big episode. Out of 10, it's a 4. It's a 4.
Okay. I think that's fair.
It's not the worst Disney Lucasfilm thing I've seen. It's definitely not the best. It's the definition of meh.
Welcome, Skywalker's Academy, to the stream. I don't think you guys like Kylo Ren because I'm assuming he burnt you guys down. You shouldn't be celebrating him. So my initial take on these 2 episodes, yeah, they're very clunky for me. I didn't care for the relationship between the characters. It didn't seem as genuine as it should have. Everything just kind of felt blocky, wooden to me. If we're gonna go on and give it a rating out of 10, I gave it a 6 out of 10. I gave it a 6.
You are kind.
I was kind.
You are
kinder than you. I gave it a 6 out of 10. I think there's a good show in here somewhere. You have to dig deep. But with all the some of the canon breaking stuff that we see in here,
Okay, hold on.
Oh gosh.
That opening crawl that wasn't a crawl, it's more of a scroll.
Yeah.
Right. Which was margin left instead of centered as it should have been.
Yeah.
The minute I saw the words former Jedi Knight.
Too bad. Look, some people might want to just hold that on you a little bit longer.
I know they will. That's fine. DJ, what's up, man?
DJ. 6 out of 10. Welcome, DJ.
And you're also kind.
You're also kind.
This is a dumpster fire, and it's not going to get any better.
In regards to the scroll, I actually liked it being a line left. It reminded me of. Did you ever see Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie? That's how they scrolled.
Of course I did, but this is Star Wars. There's a standard.
I know. I'm not.
There's a standard. There's a standard. Even in like Rogue One, it is still centered. There's a standard here, folks.
hit centered, not a line left, not a line right, centered.
Right.
But yes, I do take issue with the former Jedi Knight. I think it's a little bit of a nitpick.
It never happened.
It did not happen.
When did it happen? When did it happen? Again,
she was offered knighthood, and she rejected it.
And she turned
as
it away.
She should have.
Walked away.
As she should have. I agree with her decision.
Right. And in the first episode, you get that contradicted when Ahsoka says, "I never completed my Jedi training." She is not a Jedi.
Yeah.
This is clear canon breaking storylines that Dave, Mr. Court Low on testosterone, is writing for himself.
Yeah, and he is. And I agree with you, DJ. It probably was for the non-fanatical, but you can't.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because it breaks from what is established. It does. And I think Ahsoka honestly embodies everything the Jedi should have been. I think she embodies her former self. Maybe not in this. I'm talking about Ahsoka up till now. I'm watching her through Rebels and Clone Wars. Even though she's not a Jedi. Right.
So and here's the thing. And Blake watched and no, it's not from a certain point of view. No, I'm sorry. You guys are all wrong. You guys are all wrong. And
that guy's got a good point.
You are being Dave Filoni apologist. And you are being Dave Filoni apologist. I'm sorry. You are creating a story in the world that George Lucas created.
Yeah.
You have a responsibility to adhere to those rules. If you can't do it, write something else.
Yeah.
You have to play by the rules. But because Dave Filoni is a creative hack, he can't do that. And he won't do that. This is him writing Star Wars the way he wants to do it because his characters are the best and blah, 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 blah. This is a one-man circle jerk over his creations. And that one man is this hack, this Sith apprentice who has been in on Kathleen Kennedy's destruction of George Lucas all along.
Yeah.
No, DJ, you are wrong. The rules of Star Wars still must be adhered to.
Yeah,
Just because Disney owns the rights to Star Wars, which legally, yes, which you are agree. Legally, they can do whatever they want. The question is, should they? The answer is no.
Yeah. Going back to Skywalker Academy's thing, Obi-Wan did lie to a lot of people using that line. He was able to lie to a lot of people. I do agree that canon matters. I do agree that we need to hold to those rules, because if not, I mean, what's
the point?
Is it really the same thing? Are we watching same thing, or are we watching something different with our familiar characters? Are we watching a whole different story, but you plaster Ahsoka and Sabine and Hera on it because that's what sells, and it's actually not even the same story. It's not
selling.
Well, Sabine was never Force sensitive.
Never Force sensitive. This is being shoehorned in because this is the story Dave Filoni wants to tell. George never let him tell the story because it didn't fit in the world of Star Wars.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, being Force, had they done it the way, would I be mad? I probably wouldn't be. I don't know. Maybe I would have. I don't know. But it was never predicated upon at all.
No,
never. It's just out of nowhere. There's this history between her and Ahsoka where they were master and apprentice, and something went down, something went wrong, and now we're hearing it third hand. I don't like that.
Which I'm just saying, don't be surprised, because if you've ever seen the scene, if you listen close to the music, when Ahsoka and Sabine are in the same scene together by themselves, the music's a little Kenny G-ish in there, and I'm like, oh, please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
Oh no, Joker Voice is making predictions. But no, I don't care for
Don't be
I don't
surprised.
care for her being a Jedi. I don't care for her being a Jedi or a Force user. I don't even know what they're going for. Is she just a light side Force user? Is Ahsoka trying to be a Jedi? Like, I don't have those answers yet. And I'm not saying I'm mad about not having the answers yet. I do believe in a progression of story, and finding things out as you go along.
DJ, George was never on set for this. Show me your sightings. Where's your receipts? Again, I'm gonna make people mad in this chat, and I don't care.
I don't know if he was on the set for Ahsoka. I know he was for Mando for a little bit.
Mandalorian, sure. Back when John was in complete control of that project. After season 2, that all changed when Dave became John's boss.
Yeah. I think that excuse me. I didn't lost my thought. I think Dave Filoni is creative. I think he is creative.
No.
But I don't think
Dave
he's
Filoni,
able to be reined in. I don't think he can be,
Dave is a 7-year-old fanboy who writes like a 7-year-old jumping on his bed with a wrapping paper tube, wailing it around, screaming the Star Wars theme. And his waifu and his waifu pillows.
Yeah, well, I will agree that I feel like this series is like that. You do have that kind of. You kind of have that. I'm telling my story. There's some things that aren't explained. We're just going to get into it. I don't care for that part of it at all.
No,
I really don't.
And there were some aspects, There were some aspects in this that felt like Star Wars. There actually were.
Yeah, there were.
There were some attempts.
I agree.
And there were some things that were done, and there were some things that were done well. There just weren't enough of them to overcome all the blatant sins that this show commits.
So, what do you think about Baylan Skoll? What is your take on these antagonists? There's several antagonists at this point, but
okay,
specifically Baylan.
Okay, Balin Skull, very stoic character. Ray Stevenson is a presence, is an absolute presence. And I just learned, which I should have known, that that Ray Stevenson is no stranger to Star Wars. He was the voice of Gar Saxon.
Right.
I did not know that until
Yes.
until the other day. I thought Balin Skull was the best character in the two episodes.
He's
Reason
one of my
why
favorites.
is because, well, the reason why is because every character in these first two episodes was written with one defining characteristic: stoicism.
Yeah.
Every character is stoic. Unfortunately, stoicism is an inherently male trait. So this tells me that the women suck at playing men. Oh, Megan's here.
Thanks
What's
for
up,
coming
Megan?
in. Thanks for coming in. Good to see you. You're gonna make Megan cry too, aren't you? Please don't make Megan cry. You probably will.
That's fine. Y'all need it. Y'all need it.
We all know JV loves to make people cry. I agree with Luna Girl here. Balin was fantastic. Can't wait to see where the story goes. Yes, I do like that. I do like him as a character. Anytime he's on the screen, like you said, JV, he's a presence. I think this was a good move. Yes, he survived Order 66, and you know I can get on board with more people surviving.
I'm sorry,
Order 66.
I
can.
I can't. Okay, I can get behind. Okay, because in the OOT it was pretty well established that the only two survivors were Yoda and Obi-Wan. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but out of 10,000 Jedi in the galaxy at the time Order 66 happened, did a few escape? Okay, possibly, but it seems that every Disney Star Wars project there's a survivor of the leak, practically.
Yeah, you know, I don't hate the idea as much as I hate that. Yes, it has been done a lot. I agree with that.
It is almost now. It's almost now a Disney trope to the point to where Order 66 carries no weight.
Yeah, but I will say I feel like this has been the best that it's been done for me. Because I like Balin Skull. And I mean,
okay, and that's fine, but the problem is it'll at least from my standpoint, it lessens the impact because it's been done so many times.
Does. It does. I agree with you. On that. But I do see. Tina likes Shin Hati. I think what's her name? Shin what?
Shin Hati.
Hati.
Yeah.
I've seen Shin Batty out there. I've never seen her actual last name.
Yeah.
Still, man, you guys like crazy women. She's crazy.
the best thing about
thank you guys.
about Shin is she is stoic with a big helping of silence, which is crazy and silent. That's how I like my women. Don't talk.
JV likes them crazy too. Yeah, I get that. That tracks.
Hello, Harley Quinn. Have you met her?
But I do like the stoicism in these two characters. I think they're played very well. The dynamic between them was okay. I think that was great. She doesn't like crazy eyes.
Are you getting a bit Bane Zana vibes? Are you though? Bane and Darth Zana?
Yeah, not until now.
Just saying.
But I think this is Disney attempt at Dark Jedi, which Dark Jedi are cool. I don't think that it's just another thing Disney's cherry picking from Legends EU.
Shocking. Yeah. Gee, because they don't have one creative bone in their body.
Yeah, I'm starting to. It just. And I don't want to be all negative. I'm not that guy. Anyone who's watched the show knows me. I'm not a negative person at all. I love positivity, and I can be critical. But
it's starting to become a little too obvious, isn't it?
Well, you're gonna decanonize the entire Legends or EU. Not even make it like we're gonna continue these stories. It's another universe, whatever. You're literally gonna say this is decanonized. We're not doing anything with this anymore. And then
It doesn't exist.
but we like this, so let's take this and make it our own. Oh, I like Thrawn. Let's make him and put him in our show. Oh man, Dark Jedi, that's cool. Let's take him and make him Balin and Shin. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but it seems that way to me. Hey, we like this or that. And people who are like, let's make Mara Jade canon. I don't want them to. I like Mara Jade. I don't want Disney to ruin her, because what can happen to her at this point? She can meet Luke Skywalker and die, or she can meet Luke Skywalker and divorce him or
and
something. Hate him. Like it don't end up well. I mean, if she's brought into canon, there's nowhere for her to go but down. So. Not saying that they won't bring her into canon and screw that up. I don't want them to, because
they will. They will
make it. Some things need to stay sacred. At least they will never touch the Solo children, because they've already been kind of bastardized.
They don't exist.
They don't exist.
Which speaking of children, where's Jason Sindula?
Nah, I hadn't seen him. I think we do kind of see him, and I think his little bulbous head pops up in the trailer. I think he'll show up.
I
don't think he's going to be prominent.
Because he should be around 10. He's around 10 years old right about now. And
Correct.
He should have been in the Phantom when Hera jumps up on board.
Yeah. Which I will say, JV, I don't think we should throw all the eggs in one basket. We shouldn't put everything that this series has to offer in the first 2 episodes.
Well, there wasn't much to offer.
At least mention it,
Well, and the only character from Rebels to here that is still consistent is Chopper.
Yeah. Kill them all.
Chopper's still a dick.
Kill everyone.
Dick,
why?
So,
we can't do that?
Murder droid.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, the murder droid.
And that is the most Hera was throughout the entire 2 episodes.
And even that.
I'm not going to say that. I will say she did take on a form of motherliness, a form where she tried to be the bridge between Ahsoka and Sabine.
It was more
she did not do it well.
It was more condescending than it was motherly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was not done well. I think that was the intent, but it was not done well.
And because the actress, the only reason she got this gig is because of her husband.
Hello there.
Hello.
Yes. Ewan McGregor is Mary Elizabeth
Winstead, aka Darth Homewrecker.
I like that one. Let's put that on a t-shirt.
I mean, am I wrong?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. This is about Star Wars. But yeah, Hera just seemed really out of character, like, period. I think that Ahsoka and Sabine had a semblance of who they were. They were just too stoic.
Too stoic.
Well,
okay,
yeah. Sabine, I wrote this down. Sabine.
So I wrote this down. So they all have this main personality trait, stoicism. Ahsoka was so stoic, she was a block of wood.
Yeah.
Hera is stoic with a hint of condescending.
Yeah.
Sabine is stoic with a hint of angst.
Yes.
Morgan,
I wouldn't say
Elsbeth, there's a lot of angst. Okay. Morgan,
take it easy,
Elsbeth.
Skywalker. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. So Morgan Elsbeth is stoic with a helping of rage, and I'll get to her in a second. Shin with a heaping helping of silence, but yeah, they're all stoic.
but she's supposed to be at least a little stoic. I'll give Shin. She's supposed to be stoic, but
Okay, because we've never seen this character before, so okay, I'll give it
a pass.
I'll give it some leeway.
I do not like how stoic these characters are. And we've discussed this, but between ourselves, and we've also just even in the face of danger. This is a staple of Star Wars. All Star Wars. OT, PT, even the sequel trilogy that gets a lot of things wrong. There's still like witty banter, even when everything is down in the dumps. Everything is just sucking. There is still the witty banter and there's still the situational comedy. It's not overarching. It's not too much. It's, but none of that is in this series. None of that.
Because no matter, okay, how long have they been apart since the end of Rebels? This is about 7 years.
Yeah, but they trained together for some time. I don't know.
Whatever.
5 years.
It's not explained, and you're just supposed to accept it.
Well, they may explain it. I'm not going to say they're not. They may touch on that history as the show goes on. I'm not saying it's a great move, but that might be what happens. I
mean, there's only been one smart move as far as the show goes that Disney has made, and that is not releasing it at midnight Pacific time is actually definitely.
Yeah, but I'm talking about everybody else.
Right. Well, I mean, so they're releasing it on Tuesday, 6 p.m. my time, 9 p.m. East Coast time. That's at least where more eyes can get to it.
Yeah. I mean, I've never caught any of these when they drop because it's like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. my time.
3 a.m.
I love Star Wars. Yeah, I love Star Wars, and I'm not sitting up that late. I'm sorry, I got to work, But I did watch these 2 episodes when they dropped. I was actually very surprised that I thought Disney Plus was going to crash out just from the amount of people trying to watch this. But
the fact because I remember when the season finale of Mando came out at midnight, it was hard to get on.
It was. You couldn't watch it.
And the fact that this came on so easily, that's a bad sign.
Hey, Dragon Buddy, welcome to the stream, man. Thank you for being here.
Well, okay. It's not a recap episode because everything in episodes 1 and 2 we had no idea about. So this was 90 minutes to get us to the end of Rebels. That could have been done in 20 minutes tops, and then actually move the story forward. But instead, you spent all this time having to go through this. Who are these characters now? Also, Rolling Stone, the day before, pushed out an article titled "The 15 episodes you must see before you watch Ahsoka." So 15 episodes of Clone Wars and Rebels that you need to see before you watch the shows, just so you'll understand the show. I'm sorry for the viewer. If you have to do homework before you watch a show, your show sucks.
Well, I don't mind there being some babying into these characters because these characters existed. If you have some time where you kind of explain kind of how these characters know each other, I'm on board with that. For people who didn't watch the 4 seasons, I'm okay with that. One of the guys on our audio podcast didn't watch Rebels, but he jumped in and watched this for the show, and he said, well, I really liked how they kind of baby you into who these characters are, blah, 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 blah. Well, then we actually started talking about Rebel stuff, and he's like, yeah, I didn't get any of that from these 2 episodes.
Right. Right, exactly.
So as a recap, episode, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. Even if we had one episode that was totally like, hey, let's kind of push the plot a little bit, but let's really make some exposition moves.
Now, what I mean is, you can have an episode to kind of set the table. What this article has said is, before you watch the show, you need to go watch these cartoon episodes to know who these characters even are. If you have to do homework to understand a show and the show is not explaining it, your show is not good.
Yeah. DB, I will say to your point there, at least Mandalorian's like season 1, 2, 3. If you're starting season 3 and you don't know what happened in season 1 and 2, that's kind of on you,
Right.
I think
this is a brand new show. So for folks who've never watched the cartoons,
I'm saying DB was just saying like Star Wars in general. He wasn't really talking about this.
But for noobs, who have been watching just the live action stuff, have never watched the cartoons, you're going to tell them, okay, great, you're going to come to this show. You need to watch all of this before you watch this. That is not good storytelling.
I could agree with Megan here. You don't have to catch us up on there. Not every show has to be for the newest people. I can see that. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I think the show should have things that appeal to longtime fans and people who know the story. But at the same time, you got to look at this thing. I mean, it's a business. You have to draw new subscribers and new viewers.
And the show is not going to do it. The show is not going to do it.
But if you're going to do it, though, you can't have a story that predicates on other things too much, because people aren't, there are people that I know who will not watch animated shows. They just don't. They don't watch animated shows. I don't know why, because I love animated shows.
Likewise.
But some people don't watch animated shows. So to have this be a success for those fans, which are actually there's a number of them out there, you have to kind of bring them in and they have to know what's going on. So I do agree with Megan to a point. That would be cool. But I'm saying from a business standpoint, it's not going to work. It's not going to work.
No. This show needs to be a home run.
Former Jedi, yeah. I think that's a nitpick, though. I think it breaks canon. I don't like it, but I think it's a nitpick. Anyways, we'd already talked about that.
Right.
And the open, I will say the opening scroll kind of does bring you up to speed. Maybe not with the best.
Well, no, because it really doesn't. Because those of us who know Star Wars, who know the lore, who know the world, who know the rules of Star Wars, this does not work. From the word jump. Again, I go back to Disney Star Wars. Disney Star Wars in general. The rise of Palpatine in the crawler. Somehow Palpatine has returned. You just took a beloved character arc and took a big dump on it.
Yeah, I agree.
But according to all these canon folk here who are saying it's fine. Okay, cool. So they're allowed to take a dump on Anakin Skywalker because it fit their story.
Yeah.
So quit endorsing Kathleen Kennedy out of one side of your mouth, and then out of other side of your mouth, condemning her. It's one or the other.
Yeah, because you can't
ride the fence.
You can't, because I mean the Palpatine thing, that's inexcusable. Like somehow Palpatine returned. If that's going to happen, it happened in Legends. It happened in the EU. It happened. But if you're going to do that, give me something that shows that. And I will say that's a parallel I can draw with Rise of Skywalker and this series. Somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow Sabine is a Jedi apprentice. Somehow Morgan Elsbeth is a Night Sister. Like it's I mean, it just comes out of nowhere.
Now, again,
these are the things I'm not liking.
It is shoehorned in because Dave thinks it's cool. Okay,
Yeah.
Dave is an idiot because Dave doesn't even know his own canon. Because in Mando season 2, episode 5, the Jedi, first red flag now in hindsight, when Ahsoka is battling Morgan at the end of the episode. Up until this time, all we know of her is she is an industrialist.
Yeah.
Now we know that she's a descendant of the Night Sisters using Dark Force magic. Wouldn't that have been when she's trying to battle Ahsoka? Wouldn't she have tried to use her Dark Force magic?
Yeah. And I've heard people kind of try to mull over, like maybe she was trying to not show that side of herself. Well, why wouldn't she? I mean, who cares?
That's an advantage. That's an advantage you have.
Yeah. No one would care. And who was there?
Okay.
Who was there who would rat her out? I mean, she's planning to kill Ahsoka. Like, I mean, in that fight, she wants to kill Ahsoka. So she's not going to tell anyone. I mean, that don't line up for me. I like
now.
Justina,
Okay.
Yang made sure to say how terrible Sabine is at force sensitivity. They're trying to like
they're trying to like
they're trying to it's like now, when you try to paint match a car and it don't quite match. There's two blues.
Now
one's a shade darker and one's just a shade lighter. It don't quite mesh. You're trying, it looks okay, but it don't quite mesh, you know.
I will say this. David Tennant and Clancy Brown, they're returning to play roles that they did in Clone Wars and Rebels. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Totally fine with that.
Yeah. And you know what's funny though? Clancy Brown's character, I can't think of his name right now. He had like some of the best comedy in the 2 episodes where he's giving a speech and Sabine's gone. He's like, you take over.
Right.
And if you notice, so the kid that took over was actually from the Imperial Academy that Ezra breaks into. So that's a cool little tidbit. I do like that. That's a cool little tidbit.
But again, you're playing within the rules. You're playing within the game.
That's in the rules. And that whole scene, that scene was funny to me. I enjoyed that scene a lot.
Okay. See for me, the only funny line, the line that I genuinely laughed in was when Hu Yang said to Hera, "But you're a hologram."
Yeah. Oh, I love
because you're a hologram.
I'm a Whovian.
Yes.
Let's see here. About the force and
Nope. No, she's not. No, she is not. Okay, and I have gone over this numerous times. Yes, the Darksaber was created by Tar Vizsla, who was invited to join the Jedi to join the Jedi. The Darksaber was made prior to him being part of the Jedi. The Darksaber is not a Jedi weapon. It is a Mandalorian weapon, first and foremost. What Kanan was training her as is swordsmanship, because she knew she would have to battle for the right to wield the Darksaber. Now, if this is true, in a sense she was a Padawan learner, then wouldn't Kanan have detected force sensitivity, or Ezra detected force sensitivity?
Yeah, I don't.
I'm sorry, that argument doesn't hold water.
Yeah, I don't agree with the fact that they were training her, because if you're not force sensitive, you're not force sensitive. And we never got an indication in Rebels that she was. We never got that.
No.
Had they put that in there, even if they were training with a Darksaber and they put that in there, I would like this a little. I could connect with this a little bit more and connect the dots. The dark saber, it is an energy blade. It is like a lightsaber. So yeah, you're training with something that's like a lightsaber, but you don't necessarily have to have the force to use a lightsaber.
No,
not exactly. But I think the force helps you not cut your limbs off while wielding a lightsaber. I think that's one of the things.
Okay, so are we gonna talk about it now? Talk about it now.
What is it? What is it?
The through the gut thing.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Sabine should be dead. Sabine should be dead.
Yeah.
Dead.
Yeah. Poor Qui-Gon.
Okay. Which, and again, for some reason, Screen Rant decided to make a list of everyone who has survived a lightsaber stabbing. Cal Kestis, Grand Inquisitor, Reva, who else was it? Sabine, and there was someone else.
I don't know the other one. I can't think.
But they're all Disney, Star Wars.
I wish they would kind of steer away from that. I'm not saying, she got dead. Medical attention,
Okay. DB, sorry. No. That is going through her. That is going through her liver and her lung at 12,000 degrees. She is cooked. She is done. There is no way she survives that. Again, stop being apologists. Raise your standards, folks. Raise your standards.
I don't think. Look, okay, I actually like this. I like this. I don't think she should have necessarily died.
Okay. I can change that entire thing and actually make it work. You kill Sabine off. Now Ahsoka has an arc because of guilt to go through this series.
I'm not saying that wouldn't be cool. I think that'd be cool. She would have died, and Ahsoka had that. Now I tell you what, she would not become a Jedi.
Blah, 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 apologizing, and the big mistake is you released episode 1 and episode 2 at the same time. At least
before we get into that, before we get into that though, I don't think
I would not be Dragon Buddy. No, I would not, because that would make sense. That would be taking a risk for Dave to kill off one of his real dolls in his back room.
I don't think Sabine should have died. However, yes, she gets medical attention faster than Qui-Gon.
Where's the back to tank? Where's the back to tank?
Yeah. So this is what I do want to see. I don't like that the next episode, and this is what you were talking about, between episodes 1 and 2, there's no cliffhanger because, isn't she dead? Well, we'll know when I click play on the next one. I don't think that was a great idea.
No. Build tension.
You're right, DB. You can't do that. Yeah, build tension. I agree. Build tension. But it is the fact that she is just all of a sudden, she's just boom, right back in it. We're okay. We're all okay here. I think if they would have had her hemmed up for an episode or two, recovering
on the mend. On the mend.
I can get behind that. I can get behind that.
Or seriously injured. I mean, severely injured.
You open up that next episode and you get like a Finn thing when Finn's in The Last Jedi, when he's in the suit, he's you're scared. He might be dead. What's going on with this guy? I think that they should have done something in that vein.
Force healing. Dear God, you guys. Oh, F off.
Thank you for keeping it PG.
Oh, God.
At least 10 seconds is all it takes. Let's see. If they use the back tank, I would hear you without a bug.
Okay, but now here is the reason you didn't have a back to tank. Because in every time we've seen a back to tank, The person inside has been almost completely undressed. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Well, in Kathleen Kennedy's Star Wars, you can't have the male gaze. So you can't have attractive women being attractive women. So
I don't know, man. I seen that cake when she was coming down on that speeder. I seen it. I was there.
Have you seen her standing up? She makes a wall jealous.
I'll tell you what, these are the kind of conversations we should be having. This is it. This is where it's at.
Now,
man.
Has the back to tank been overused? Yes. Thank you, Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah. Well, and to be honest, we've talked about repeating motifs a few times tonight. Is it maybe we're just getting too much? Maybe we're just getting too much Star Wars, and
it is now a trope. It's now a trope.
Well, that's how things become tropes, I think.
Because now we had yet another hallway scene.
Yeah, we did have that. Well, I want to go back to the back to tank real quick though. I will say that it wouldn't be as much of a trope if she spent one episode in there, or she did it to heal. I mean, that's how they heal in the Star Wars world.
Right.
Now, if she's in the back to tank and having flashbacks and having this whole thing, then it's a little bit too much reminiscent of Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
So I think if the back to tank's in here, it's fine. We all understand that is how people heal in a galaxy far, far away. I would have really liked to seen a back to tank, or even if they didn't do that, at least her like in some serious turmoil.
And I'm sorry, but that small wound, for one, if she survives, there's not a wound, there's a hole going right through her.
Yeah.
And for it to be like maybe that big, because when Shin inserts it, when she tapes it out, she lifts it up and twists to pull it out. She's causing more damage. That's a larger wound.
Tina is right. Tina's right.
Okay. I'm not denying that.
ADB.
But ever since Rogue One, we've had Rogue One. We've had Maul do it.
Yeah.
We've had Luke do it. Now we have Balin do it. It's just boom, bitty, boom, bitty, boom. And I'm sorry, but how Balin and Shin got on that ship, once again, trying to show the New Republic, which was founded by Han, Luke, and Leia, as incompetent.
Right. Oh, yeah. I do not like the way, since the sequel trilogy, I've not liked the New Republic, how it's been portrayed at all. That has been, this has been something for me. Not strong. They don't feel like they need a military. That's kind of dumb. They don't feel like they need to. They're irresponsible. I mean, they're not keeping tabs on anybody who is a known Imperial. Yeah, they're inviting known Imperials into the fold and re-educating them, and it's not working. Like, come on. I mean,
this is too dumb.
They're too dumb
Kathleen
for me.
Kennedy. This is Kathleen Kennedy taking a big dump on George Lucas and his characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you don't have Han, Luke, and Leia. You can CGI them. You can do this. And that's been some success. But everything that they work, it's almost like everything that was done in the original trilogy 5 years later is meaningless.
Right.
I mean, that's how I feel.
And it's by design. It's by design. It is by design. This is what Kathleen Kennedy is out to do. Because when I did my last week's News Now episode 18, okay, my two videos later, so the Friday of that week, I talked about an article called Cobwebbed Characters, where this was a meeting with Hasbro and the other third party merch manufacturers, where a high Lucasfilm official came in and said, Luke Skywalker, stop making Luke Skywalker toys. If you want to continue making Grogu toys, you need to not make Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker and all legacy characters are officially cobwebbed. They will be used sparingly as cameos or off-screen dimensions. That's it. Kathleen Kennedy hates what George Lucas created, and has been out to destroy it.
Yeah, I don't care for the way they've used legacy characters. I don't think anyone would say that it's ideal at all. And then, Luke, I did like Luke at the end of Mando season 2. That was cool. That was awesome. But then you get to Book of Boba Fett, and all of a sudden he's like, "Hey, Grogu, you got to choose, man. Like, do you want love or do you want the Jedi way?" And it's like, dude, this is literally why the Jedi failed. Like, did you not learn anything? But you have to. What the thing is, they made the sequels the way they were, and they made it. The New Republic gets just blown out, destroyed. They were barely on camera. They're barely mentioned before they're just destroyed.
Let me address this.
But they have to build up to that, and the build up sucks.
All right, so Dragon Buddy. Eventually, yes, there will be a moving away from Han, Luke, and Leia. You're right.
Yeah,
there's a way to do it, and the way to do it is to not take a big dump on them, and make them out to be immediately incompetent.
Yeah,
because right around this time in the Star Wars timeline, Leia is either right next to or is Chancellor of the New Republic.
Right. Yeah. And
So for all of you who love your princess, who love your Princess Leia, who that's your favorite female character, they're taking a big dump on her.
Yeah.
And yet you're going to cheer for this show.
Yeah. I don't know that anyone's cheering for it. I don't think that anyone's cheering for it. I mean, there are some people who are cheering. I don't think anyone's overly just, I have seen some people who are like, this is the most amazing thing ever. I will say in my circle of people that I know and people in this chat have been fairly critical of the show. Even people who love Ahsoka and love the character and I know people who are fairly critical of the show. But I don't care for the sequel trilogy. That's a personal thing. If you enjoyed it, I mean, there's elements of it that I can get into. Nope. But I do not like it as a whole. It
all sucks.
Yeah, I mean, the story is just borderline. It's between movies. It just don't even connect with itself.
And this is the problem. And this is.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. No, there is nothing good here.
Well, I think there is some good.
But if the best,
it doesn't outweigh the bad for me. It doesn't outweigh the bad for me.
If the best parts of the show are mostly aesthetic, there's no story. The writing is amateurish. It feels like a cartoon most of the time. The dialogue.
Yeah.
It's just
it really makes me think that I kind of wish, and I actually texted Wesley this, one of the other guys on Dork Wars. I think we were 10 minutes into the first episode, and I texted him. I said, "Man, I'm almost wishing this was animated. I almost wish they would have just stuck with animation for this show." And I know we love live action Ahsoka, and they've worked on the character, making her look better and stuff. I think they've made her look a little bit better, and I think the show mostly looks pretty good. There's parts.
Okay.
The part where she's fighting robots does not look that great to me.
Okay. Again, the aesthetics, the way the show looks, the way the show feels, I have very little issue with. There are some CGI stuff that it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And I will say the best executed part is the Lothcat. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful.
The Lothcat showed more emotion than any human did.
Yeah. And I think there's a good point. Luna Girl. I'm not going to do that either. I'm going to give you my preliminary thoughts on the series and tell you what I thought of these first 2 episodes without seeing the rest of it. To me, this is me. Just me. Not Joker Voice. Joker Voice probably not going to agree. There is a story here. There's the story. We're finding Thrawn. We hope to find Ezra. Thrawn's coming back. Everyone knows this. This is the same story as it was at the end of Rebels. We knew that story had to continue. It is a good story. It's a good foundation for a story. Now, whether, he's from EU, and that's cherry picking off the EU. I want to just negate that for a moment.
But did it take a 90-minute prologue to get to that starting point?
I wish they would have made it one episode at the most. I agree with that. I think it was too long. There is a story. I'm saying there's a story here. I'm not saying it was executed the best.
So,
but there's elements here that are good. There are elements here.
This is
like Sabine. Sabine was not. I don't like the way she acted. I didn't like the way she interacted with Hera and Ahsoka. But when you do see, like, she's got the art in her room and she's got the art on the helmet, it's aesthetic, like you were saying.
Okay, now the fact you mentioned helmet
does not make it great.
I want to go back to something. Back to the stabbing. Okay. What is Sabine's background?
She's a Mandalorian.
What are Mandalorians trained to do at any given moment?
Jetpack around and kill people.
To fight. And their entire the weaponry, their technology, their history was to fight who specifically?
A Jedi.
Force users. Correct. So, my question
specifically
is...
the Jedi, though. They had beef with the Jedi specifically.
Right. So, when the robot, when the HK droid went into the elevator to go down to the ground, wouldn't the first thing you would do, okay, you grab your saber, fine. Wouldn't she have also grabbed her helmet, at minimum, her chest plate, the ripcord, and her jetpack?
Yeah, I agree. I wish, well, at least the jet. I mean, something
to
be mobile.
Best car.
I will say though, I know we talked about this. It's presumed she has Beskar armor. I don't know. It might have been stated somewhere. I don't know if it is or not. Not all Mandalorian armor is Beskar.
She
may have Beskar.
She is a high noble house. Her armor is pure Beskar.
Should be.
She can afford pure Beskar. Her family can afford pure Beskar. But
it was in reach. It was in reach. It was in reach, though.
Again, stop apologizing for shitty writing.
It was in reach. I wish she would have. You know, it would have been cool to see her kind of like armor up, like half armor up as a Mandalorian with the Jedi set. That would have been a cool scene. I agree with you. I think that would have been cool.
Instead of ripping off the Kanan Jarrus scene.
Yeah, that was a little weird too. That was a little weird. So let's see. Wait a minute. Where are we?
She turned away from the fight.
It's a continuation of Rebels with some time passing between Ahsoka the White and Sabine. Yeah, where is Ahsoka the White? Because I thought she was the new Gandalf. Where's that staff? I want to see the staff, man.
Again,
where's that?
Staff? Dave can't follow his own head canon at this point.
I can't agree with that. She is downtrodden. She is not in her headspace.
Okay.
I can't.
For how long? For how long? How long's it been? Because she's supposed to be 20. Because she is supposed to be around 26, 27. At this point.
But she's been dealing with this since she was like
for 7 years.
Well, yeah, I mean, you lose someone you thought was family. She lost Kanan, then lost Ezra soon after. She's in a horrible headspace. I can agree that maybe her head's not in it. I can agree with that. For that long. It happened to you when you were 16, 17 years old.
That's a reach. I can
agree with that. I can agree with that.
That's a reach.
Now, I can agree with that, Dragon Buddy. She was not. She was, she was unprepared. She hadn't been training. We know she hadn't been training.
Obviously,
we know that she's not on her game.
Mandalorian is part of her is part of her DNA.
Yeah, I do think that you can take that in as an effect, but at the same time, I don't want to have the guesswork. I know we don't all want it. I don't
it's all post-Empire. The world is different. Stop apologizing for bad writing.
Yeah, I don't think it's because it's post-Empire. I think it's just because she's not. I don't think she's in a good headspace, man. I just don't. She's living in Ezra's old house, all hemmed up in white. She don't want to be in public. Like she's depressed. I can see that.
God.
I can see that.
Then listen to Nirvana. Not K-pop. All right? Do some drugs too. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, and I can see that point. There are points I can see in this. Like I said, I think we have a foundation for a good story. Some of the characterizations are off for me. Some of the out of nowhere kind of stuff. Sabine being force sensitive all of a sudden. I wish we would have had something before that told us that. Morgan Elsbeth being Night Sister. That's out of nowhere. It just popped somehow. Palpatine return. This is
all just shoehorned in.
A lot of it is, but I can see some of this stuff working. Had they kind of played up that I know Sabine she has that rebel sense. I wish she wasn't as angsty. You can be depressed and not angsty. They could have played it better. I think they could have played it better, but I do agree with that sentiment. 5 years of no training, hiding on Lothal, then to snap right into it out of nowhere. It's not apologizing. It's a clear spot that could be felt at personal level with dealing with loss. I could agree with that.
Then give me something to explain that.
Well, I mean, you kind of do. You kind of do, though. You kind of do. She doesn't want to be. She didn't attend the ceremony. She don't want to be a part of the ceremony. She runs away. Okay. She's acting. She is acting like a teenager. She's acting like an angsty teen. I don't like that part of it. There are signs there.
Commander. So Lothal still has a military presence. She is a commander. This is to honor the fallen, to liberate Lothal. And she's like, no, F off.
Well, yeah, she don't want to deal with it. I'm not saying I don't think it's the best storyline they come up with, but I'm saying that I can understand that at least. It's at least something to grasp onto.
Oh, God. At least do drugs or to be a drunk. To
spice.
Explain that.
Do spice.
I'd buy that. I'd buy that.
Spice. But I mean, I can agree with. I mean, I can grasp on that. I'm not saying that I think that's a great storyline. And if they could have played a little differently and made it better for me, but I can grasp. I can see that thought process. I can see that.
I think it's just lazy.
I think Joker needs a heart from the wizard. I think that's what Joker needs. But yeah, I can agree with this too, DB. You do have to take, because I have said this before. I don't like when everything's explained. I don't like when everything's laid out. I do like things laid out. Big plot points need to be laid out. Big things need to be laid out. So being force sensitive should have been laid out beforehand. I think most people would agree with that. Morgan Elsbeth should have been a Night Sister before. Like, we should have had a hint of that in The Mandalorian. So she should have said something, used her Sith dark magic. We should have had that, and I think most people would agree with that. There's always going to be some.
Now, okay, so hold on. Miss Tina here. She's dealing with Ahsoka abandoning her. That is something that Ahsoka would never do.
But
Because-
Ahsoka said she did. Ahsoka said she abandoned her.
Okay.
She stated that.
But
I'm not saying that that's a
Okay.
good thing, but she did say that.
right, but this is
She
what
shouldn't
but again, this is shoehorning something in that goes against the character. Because when she was at her lowest, when she was at her worst, when she was going to be sentenced to death, who did not abandon her? Anakin.
Yeah.
Her mentor, her best friend, her ride or die, her surrogate dad.
But she did say in
That
the
is
show
not something
she walked away from him too.
Okay.
But she did
Okay.
at large walk away from the Jedi. He chose to stay with the Jedi. So
I am saying that to abandon somebody, to abandon something larger, that's different than abandoning a person.
yeah. Oh no, I agree that's crappy. That's not good character for Ahsoka. I don't think that's good character for Ahsoka. I don't. But it is a reason that's another reason for Sabine to be the way she is. And it is stated in the episode. Do I think it's great? No. I do not. This is one thing I don't like. I don't like the whole master apprentice relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine being all off screen. We've not seen any of it. And even if we get flashbacks later on, I still think it's a little cheapened. I mean, by that fact.
And don't be surprised. And like I
said,
some
shorts. We could have got some shorts. Disney does these like shorts stuff sometimes with Disney. That should have been one of them. That even would have been better than nothing at all.
I don't trust Disney at all. Don't trust them. And I trust Disney Lucasfilm even less.
Yeah. Dragon Buddy and Tina do have valid points here.
Okay, she felt like which would cause her to not abandon someone. To not abandon someone.
You would think that. And that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that she should have abandoned Sabine. I'm not saying that that's her character. It's really not.
It's not.
I don't think that's in character for Ahsoka. But it did happen. And that's a reason for Sabine to be the way she is now. Ugh. But I would have liked some background on there. I would have liked that. Because this show has good elements. I don't think that Ahsoka and Sabine being master and apprentice is the worst thing ever, but there's nothing saying that should have happened. I think there's good story here at the foundational level. There's a good story here, and the stuff that's being built on top of it is shaky at best. But I do want to see where it goes. I want to see what happens. I'm not fully just let's see this next episode, but I am curious.
I think you're putting way too much faith in a company that is.
I'm putting zero faith. I told you I'm not expecting anything. I just want to see where it goes. If it's a dumpster fire, it's like, well,
we want to see where. Okay, so I think this is just so. But I think there are a lot. But okay, so you're not expecting anything. Okay, good. I think there are a lot of folks who have way too high hopes for this show, and if anything, Lucasfilm has. I agree. And if anything, Lucasfilm has proven is they're incapable of turning out anything quality. I mean, in the last year alone, and we're still in August. So Disney's fiscal year ends on Halloween. Lucasfilm either already has or by the end of the fiscal year is going to lose the Walt Disney Company $1 billion.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you, DB. That's where I'm at too. I think there are people who like there's YouTube, famous YouTube. I'm not going to name names, but there's some of the biggest Star Wars YouTubers out there who watch the show. They're like, oh, I give it an 8 out of 10, a 9 out of 10. This is the best thing ever for Star Wars. Blah blah. No, that's not true. And I think I
Those
think
are
most
shills.
fans, yeah, I agree with you. But I think most fans take a critical look at it. And if you take the critical look and you strip away all you think is bad, which there's a lot here that can be improved upon. There is a little bit story. There's a little bit there's a story. There's a story. It might not be executed well, but there is a story. You can't say there's not a story.
Like I said, this is not the worst thing that I have seen from Disney Lucasfilm.
No, it's not.
That would be Obi-Wan. That was the absolute worst thing ever. That was a dumpster fire. It's not as insufferable as that. It is not as dull as Andor. It's just meh. And this should be a home run. I should be excited about this show.
Oh yeah. This should have been a 10 out of 10 for everyone. As hyped as invested as people are in the Ahsoka character, as many like they could have, and this is the same thing I said about Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan
should have been a home run.
Andor was not the best. Nobody watched it.
I watched it. Are you calling me nobody? I'm tired of this, JV.
I am saying as a general term, nobody watched Andor. It is the lowest rated, the lowest viewed Disney Lucasfilm show. It did not even break 1 million views.
Well, because not everyone watched it doesn't mean it wasn't the best. If someone made the best subjective, like let's say that George Lucas Star Wars, and he just let like his friends and family see it and never released it. Is it still a good movie or not?
I mean,
seriously. Seriously, it's still a good movie. But yeah, I think that's another discussion for another time. But because a lot of people didn't watch it doesn't mean that it was a bad show. Because I liked it. I liked the show. I
didn't enjoy it. I thought it was dull, and I thought I have watched Paint and Dry faster than that show.
Yeah, well, I'm one of those people. I don't have to have this. I'm one of those people that I can take it week by week and have it given to me slowly.
Again, if you want a slow burn in your sci-fi, you watch Star Trek. You don't watch Star Wars.
Well,
George said intense and quick. That was his.
He's talking about movies, man. He's talking about movies.
Doesn't matter. This is still Star Wars.
I think it does matter. I think it is. I think you can have different genres in Star Wars and it still be Star Wars. I think you can do that kind of show and it still be Star Wars. It's still Andor played within the rules of Star Wars. All the canon rules.
Only thing
played within those rules. It played within those rules, right?
The only thing that Andor did right, it made the Empire competent, extremely competent.
And which they
whereas everything else, is making the New Republic look incompetent.
Yeah. But I will say, you're not going to get any better with the New Republic, though. You're not going to get it because we know where it ends. We know how it is in the sequel trilogy. Right. We know that doesn't get better. So,
right. So, question: that lone Inquisitor. There are two prevailing theories out there. Which one do you think?
Well, I know the two theories. There's the theory that he is Star Killer, Galen Merrick, and there is the theory that he is Ezra, and there's the theory that he's Ezra. Now, how did Ezra get back before Thrawn? Who knows? I'm not saying it can't be explained. I don't like that. Now, Ezra being brainwashed, like Morgan Elsbeth, she's a Night Sister. So even if you think that sucks, I don't think it sucks. I think it sucks that we didn't know before now. And we should have had some background on it.
But now that brings into question: how did Morgan Elsbeth get to the galaxy where Thrawn was to brainwash Ezra to bring him back here and not bring Thrawn back?
Exactly. So either he fell off the ship on the way. So I don't take much stock. No, Purgle didn't get him. He fell off without the Purgle. That's how he's still here. He happened to hit a planet.
And survived.
He happened to hit a planet
and survived. and survived in space.
He had an improbability drive. Okay. That's a deep cut for anyone who gets that reference. There you go. But no, I don't think that makes much sense. Now, bringing Galen into canon as this Inquisitor person, I don't want him to bring Starkiller into canon. I just don't. You know, I think he's great. He's a great video game character.
Right.
You're not going to do him right. You're not going to do him right. No one's going to be happy. No one. You cannot do that. No one's going to be happy.
I will say this. Thank you, Shanti. You are correct. Now there is something about this, because guess whose name is mentioned? Because guess whose name is guess whose name is mentioned in the overall cast. Sam is mentioned.
Sam Witwer. He's in the credits as additional voices, but that doesn't mean he's necessarily.
We don't know. We don't know.
Yeah, that's the third theory.
Problem with having,
he's just an Inquisitor.
Because the problem with having Galen Merrick is Ahsoka doesn't stand a chance.
Well, yes, you're correct, but he's not going to be Star. If you bring him into canon, he's not going to be Starkiller. If you bring Galen Merrick from the video game into this show or any show, he is not going to be as powerful as he was in the video game. I mean, this dude was, they're going to have to, and that's for the story. Like, you shouldn't be able to be that powerful. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, for a video game, it's an awesome premise. It's cool. I liked it, but you can't do that here because you're going to have to nerf him. Anyone who's played the video game and is so attached to that character, I'm like, crap, you nerfed him. This is not that character. Anyone new is going to be like, well, who the heck is this guy? You know, right. or they'll say, oh, this is Galen Merrick, and they'll hear everyone else say, oh, he's from this video game. They'll look it up, and then they'll be like, well, now I'm confused. This is stupid. So make him someone new. Make him just an Inquisitor. Do something. Please don't do that to me.
Well, they
probably will.
She's playing her because she's Shanti. I had a name made up for her earlier in the show. It's called Darth Homewrecker.
Darth Homewrecker. And you know what? Maybe Shanti being on the stream wouldn't have been the best. This everyone would have cried even more. But I will say, I mean, there are definitely some footholds here. They're probably not going to use them to climb upward. But I think I think most of the story, most of the baseline story that is good about this was laid out in Rebels.
This story is flimsy because the story starts off with a MacGuffin.
Yeah, another freaking map.
Just like the Force Awakens, and like
Rise of Skywalker.
So who really wrote this stuff? Dave or JJ?
Yeah, yes.
That is true.
Yes.
Shanti, you're right. And his daughter called them out on it publicly.
Dum dum dum. But yes,
Tina, I'm going to disagree with you on that. She's way too tall to be Hera.
Yeah, people have been disagreeing with me on this. This might be my big nitpick. I don't think the aliens look alien enough.
No, and
I don't think
everything looks too clean, too pristine.
I think the aliens look too human, and I think that's a big nitpick. I mean, I'm not gonna. That's not one of my ride or dies.
Okay, and be consistent, and know what characters you're playing in this thing. So in the opening scene, when the Omicron class shuttle, which is an Imperial shuttle, is being let onto the ship, which is a potential hostile, which you wouldn't do. So your security detail would come out with guns drawn at least. Do not have a Mon Calamari whose hands cannot hold a standard blaster.
Yes, that was dumb. I mean, they came down there, and the guy, he admits, he's like, I thought you were hostiles the whole time, but you didn't, you didn't act like it.
Diversity hire.
Yeah, it was just a scene. It was a scene to make Balin and Shin look cool. I mean, that's what it was. They would have looked cooler had they come out guns ablazing and then kicked their butt. That would have been cool.
Or just guns drawn, because this is a potential hostile.
See, and these are the little things that turn me off to the show. These are the things that give me negative thoughts on the show.
Because right in that opening sequence, pretty much everything we know about Star Wars, they can scan a ship and know what kind of ship it is.
Right.
So this is an Omicron class shuttle. Who used Omicron class shuttles? The Empire. I'm not talking about the Jedi Dragon Buddy, the ship, and we are Jedi. The captain does not believe them. So that's a potential hostile.
I think he does state that he didn't even think they were like four. I don't know how he worded it, but he didn't even think they were Jedi anyways. And then he's like, yeah, we're not Jedi. But he meant that he didn't think that they were lightsaber force wielding people.
We're going to call their bluff.
Yeah.
You call their bluff by closing your blast doors, raising your shields, and going to red alert.
But what I would say is, even if they're not Jedi, they're still, they could potentially be dangerous soldiers, inquisitors, or something. You don't know.
You don't bring
it's a little thing.
You don't bring a potential threat on board when you are trafficking a high-level prisoner. You don't do it.
Yeah. But kind of closing up here, though. Kind of just thoughts on
the script needs the plot to happen, so.
That is true. I think there are always better ways to do it. Let's see what old DB said here. They were a couple of pirates that were out there using the J the Pillars of Galaxy.
Right. So So again, let them.
That's true.
On board. Sure.
I still wouldn't have let the. I still would have. I agree with you here, JV. I think they should have at least come out cautiously. They didn't. They came out. And you can say, that's showing the hubris. You're showing the hubris of the New Republic because they suck, and they do. So that's just making the New Republic more incompetent. I don't like it. I don't like those aspects. Those are some of the things that do turn me off to the show. But closing thoughts for me. Actually, I'll let you do your closing thoughts first, JV. We'll never guess. We'll never guess them.
This show needs to hit a home run. And if the first 2 episodes are to be the hook to draw in new subscribers, which this show desperately needs, which Disney Plus desperately needs, which Disney desperately needs, this failed. And it should not be surprising when you talk about a company that has lost $1 billion in not even a calendar year yet, under the umbrella of another company that in 2 years has lost 58% of the value. Disney is dying, and they will not course correct. Lucasfilm is a dead brand at this point. And I said it the last time I was on with Blake and Sean and Josh. Course correction is necessary, and if the destruction of these IPs is what is necessary to get Disney to course correct, let them burn. Let them burn. This is a flimsy story at best. It is amateur writing from a person who is more fanboy than creative. Dave Filoni is a hack, and he's exposing himself as a hack.
Exposing himself. So my final thoughts. I do not overly love the show. I don't like the intricacies. I don't like the characters' interactions with each other. I'm not a big fan of the characterization, like of Sabine. I get, we were talking kind of like she's I play those roles, but she was a little too like teen angst for me. Hey Wesley, thanks for joining.
Loving it.
What's up, man? So look, this is best Disney thing ever. I was kidding. But I don't like the interaction between the characters. I think it's all a little flat between the characters, and I think this is where this needs to shine is between the characters. We know the story. It's finding Thrawn, finding Ezra, or defeating Thrawn, finding Ezra, however you want to state it. But what's going to make this show shine is the interactions between Sabine, Hera, Ahsoka, and then later on Zeb, and then Ezra when he gets there. And that's what people were excited for most of all. That's what I think. And you guys can correct me if you think I'm wrong, but I do think that we have a base story. I do think that it could get better. It probably will not. I don't think it's going to get any better. I think that Ahsoka's going to stay stoic. I think Sabine's going to stay stoic. And well, once they kind of get comfortable with each other, I'm sure there'll be some banter, but I don't think it'll be it'll seem forced. So it's going to seem forced. And that's what I think. And I hope I'm wrong. I'm probably not, but I hope I'm wrong. But this should have been a home run. This should have been a home run. I agree with you, JV. This is a slow pitch down the middle. It's asking to be hit for a homer. And it's not knocking it out of the park for me right now.
No.
Could that change? It'd take a lot.
It's barely a single. This is barely a single.
Hey, man, that's the best compliment you gave it all night, JV.
All right.
What do you got going on out there? Who do you have tied up in there?
Oh, that's Kevin Feige. His lips are chapped from all the Chinese honey sausage that he sucks on his knees.
All right. Well, this has been another great episode of Dork Wars, the podcast. JV, where can we find
Let me guess.
you, man?
Let me guess. You weren't quite expecting that, were you?
I was not. So, JV, before we end up again, where can we find you and all? What do you got going on? What's up this week with you?
Okay, busy week for me yet again. So, Joker Boys, you can see that's my YouTube channel down there. Tina, just shh, don't question. Just I'll tell you later, dear. So that is my YouTube channel where you can find me. You can also find me on Twitter X at @Los_protege. This week, after I'm done with this, I'm going to be recording my video for Monday, last week's News Now, where I talk about stories you might have missed in the week in pop culture. Wednesday, I will be doing my review for episode 3 of Ahsoka. Friday, I do another video. I'll find a topic in between now and then. Monday, Legion Talk, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, going back to the world of Westeros, as we've been doing for a while now. We are on season 5, episodes 1 and 2. Legion Talk again. Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, Friday Night's Royal Rumble, talking about the world in pop culture. And then 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on Thursday will be Roman of the Empire, talking about Ahsoka episode 3. Whew.
Ooh,
that's a lot.
I got tired listening to you. I like DB's his synopsis. In short, Sabina's hot. Shin looks like she is in a music video, and Saya and Balin is intriguing, and I like it.
Okay, no, and I said that Balin is the best acted character.
You did say that
on this show.
Yeah, he is. I hope we get more. And yes, JV does dual stream Legion Talk, Game of Thrones live streams. I would let him do it here, but I don't pay for the subscription, so I'm not allowed.
No worries.
So as always, you can check out Dork Wars, the podcast, at dorkwarspodcast.com. There you can find everywhere that we're streaming. All of our social medias are linked to that. Our merch store. We did record. Dork Wars, the podcast, has recorded their first audio episode since February. Okay, guys. Should be out tomorrow. Yeah, I know. And it's our thoughts on Ahsoka. So if you didn't get enough between me and JV tonight, you're going to get vastly different views on our audio episode with probably some
Mine's
more
the right one, though.
Yeah, JV's is one. As always, subscribe to the socials. We love chatting with you guys. Thank you guys for listening in. Without you listening to me banter on and talk about what I like, and JV doing whatever he's doing over there, we would not. There's no point, right? There's no point. So thank you guys for listening. Interact with us on the socials. Everyone that's in our chat, I know, interacts with us on the socials. So thank you guys for that. Anyone that's listening, if you haven't liked and subscribed, like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That way you know anytime.
Share the stream.
Share with your friends. Share the stream with your friends.
Let's get this guy to about 125 very soon. Let's get
that'd be cool. I mean, that's only 20. That's only like 20, right?
Right. And let's get me some more hours. So let's get
get JB some hours.
Don't tell me, DB, you're speaking my language there. So anyway, so if you go to my page, check on the playlist tab. You can just let them play. Turn the volume down. Don't care. Because I need the hours, because I have reached the YouTube demonetization sub goal. Now I need the hours. So let's build those hours up.
Yeah. Listen to JV. Even if you don't agree with him, just listen to him and laugh. Because sometimes.
Or go back in the house. That's fine. Or
go back in the house. Do something.
Let it play.
Leave it on. But as always, thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. The Dork Wars community and family loves every one of you, and we thank you for being a part. You are a part of Dork Wars. So thank you, and may the Force be with you.
Toodles!
Thank you for supporting Dork Wars, the podcast. You can check us out on Facebook.com/Dork Wars, the podcast. And if you would like to join in on the discussion or maybe suggest topics for us to discuss, please do so by joining our Discord community or sending us an email at dorkwarspodcast@gmail.com.